Hi guys, welcome to Garden Radio. Our first guest is Martin, and would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hey, I'm Martin Bentsen, and I am a filmmaker, and I'm currently working on my second feature film, which is called Dakota, and it's just a story about this guy named Kurt who's been depressed for a while and having some having some issues with things, and you don't really know what's going on in the actual film until it's revealed later that he was in this terrible accident, and he finds this dog on the side of the road one night, and it ends up being that the dog actually talks to him, and he's not sure if he's going crazy or what's happening, but the film sort of follows the relationship between this dog who talks to him, trying to help him get healed, basically.
Okay. Let's see. As far as the photography goes, that's what I'm interested in. How long have you been doing that?
The photography, I've been doing it for about, I've been doing my photography professionally for, I guess, 2 years maybe since I've registered my company, but I was doing it a lot freelance before that, and that was, I'd say, since 2006.
Okay. And when was the entertainment, the LLC that I noticed down here, the MJB Home Entertainment, when was that founded?
It was in, I believe, January of 2010. That's when I officially registered and started shooting events in New York.
Oh, that's awesome. I know that we have one mutual friend in common, Andrew Roth. So he's in Dakota, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing the main character in Dakota, and that's sort of how we met. We were doing I had posted an ad on Mandy, and we were doing castings for it, and he ended up contacting me and showing interest in the film because he said that he usually plays characters that are more hardcore, kind of bad guys, and this film is more of a sentimental type of feel, and so that's why he was really interested in it. And it was fortunate to have met him because he's actually fairly well established in the entertainment industry, and so now he's been helping out with actually producing on the film.
Okay. Were any advertising? I know that you wanted the DakotaTheMovie.com to be out there. Are there any other sites you'd like us to go to? I see some in the bio.
I mean, yeah, well, one of the things is, like you were saying before, besides my filmmaking, if you are interested in filmmaking, you can check out the first feature film that I did, which is Mozart of Rap. If you go to mozartofrap.com, that's actually the first movie that I did. It's about an hour and a half, and I worked on it with a number of excellent actors, and we were shooting for probably 4 months because we did it extremely low budget, and we we just had all kinds of little issues that were coming up here and there, but it was a huge learning experience, and if I hadn't done that film, I don't think that I would have had any chance at being able to make the new film that I'm working on now, Dakota. And so if you check out that site, there's a trailer on there, and it's actually really good. We're almost finished with the film, and we're going to be sending it out to film festivals starting in probably getting everything finished by February, and then start to send out throughout the year to all different places to try to get some publicity.
Okay. One of my friends actually that is regular on the show, his name is Chris. He is in New York. He's wondering, where are you in New York exactly?
I'm located on the Upper West Side in New York, and actually most of my clients come to meet me here when I do headshot photography for actors and portraits, all that stuff. I have people meet me up in I have a small studio on 107th Street near Amsterdam Avenue.
Okay. When is the Dakota supposed to be out necessarily?
Well, like I said, we're shooting in January of 2013. We're using the entire year this year to get all the funding in place, and we're going to try to get some big name actors attached to it, at least one. And so the editing obviously will take a lot of time. So my plan is that by January or early 2014 that the film will be available.
As far as any of your photography, how do you go about that? Is it they broke it through a site, or do they call you? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think you posted the website earlier, cityheadshots.com. If people Google cheap headshots, I'm like the second hit on Google, and so most of my clients find me. And if you search like headshots New York, I'm also on there. So a lot of people find me through Google. But then lately, the thing is since I've only been shooting headshots for about a year and a half, I haven't had many referrals yet. Or not referrals, sorry, I meant like repeat customers. But that's now starting to pick up a lot, and so I'm also getting people from word of mouth.
Okay, well, that's awesome. Is there anything else you'd want to mention to the audience? They're only 8 minutes in, so.
I mean, I'm not sure. There's lots of things that I've been working on, and one of the things that people ask about me is that they're always like, why are you doing all of this stuff, or how are you able to do this stuff when you're young? Because I'm only 22 years old, and so that's something that people ask me often is like, either do you know people who are helping you out to do these things, or are you doing it on your own, and how, if you are? And so I end up usually saying that, well, I mean, first of all, I am pretty much doing it on my own. I do have nice assistant, which is my dad, who's actually a lawyer, and that's been helpful for films. If you know a lawyer, that's the key thing to be able to make films. But besides that, the photography and video stuff, it's sort of just been all on my own. People have been asking me all kinds of people have been asking me all kinds of questions about sorry, I lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
There's somebody else here who asked me something a minute ago. All right, so yeah, I mean, basically my whole thing is do it yourself, really. And I say, if you have an interest in something, then there's no reason really not to do it, because if you want to do something enough, you'll probably figure out a way that can make it work. I mean, I didn't think I'd be able to have my site at the top of Google when I started with headshots, but I ended up doing a lot of research and searching how to do SEO, search engine optimization, and then it all worked out, and now I don't really have to do any marketing at all, any promotion stuff, and people just call me, which is pretty good. You know, I'm sort of working for myself at age 22, which I think is pretty lucky.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, that's the thing with this field, my field as well. I know that you're more into the film, but as far as the paranormal goes, it's the same issue, really. I advocate for the young ones, basically us, because there are a lot of good people and a lot of talented people that aren't, really old, that are doing all these amazing things with their life. And, people got to start to realize that, the older ones, just because they're older doesn't mean they know everything. I'm not saying the younger ones do, but we have a lot to offer, and I think that's really important for people to understand, so it's a big deal right now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that one thing that I say is people who are just starting out in something it's obviously for clients who contact you for something like this, it's a risk for them, but because you don't know. But if you look at the quality of someone's work in whatever it is that they're doing, I typically feel like people who are young are willing to put more effort into certain things because they're trying so hard to promote their business and become successful, that I feel like young people often, or people just starting in something, are often more likely to do a really good job. You know, for everybody else, it's sort of just like the usual thing. And they don't have to try as hard because they've already got a huge client base and everything.
Yeah. Well, the thing with being younger, too, is you have a fresh take on all of it. You know?
Yeah.
Same thing. But yeah, I get your point on that one. And you have done a lot of amazing things, so I definitely congratulate you for all that. It's true. Well, I mean, you know, not many can actually enjoy that. Because most of the time when you're at this age, it's a hobby. You know, it's like you're just learning how to do it. It's a hobby, or you have to try and, you know. You're very lucky you have a lawyer as a father. That's good, because finding one right now is pretty hard.
And then on the other side of it, the other lucky thing is my girlfriend's mom is a tax accountant. So I'm sort of all set there.
That's pretty good. I might be asking for some legal advice then.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, when you're running any kind of business or even doing a film, if you're not the kind of person who enjoys marketing it, it's really, really going to be difficult. I mean, that's the problem, is most of the photographers that come to me, I mean, I was literally yesterday and today I was holding interviews for an assistant position with me when I shoot headshots. And so I had like 15 or 20 people who were coming to me, all different types of people. I mean, some of them older than me, some students, and I was asking them like why they were interested in the position. And I mean, right now, obviously, the economy is really bad, so they were interested for that reason. But it was also because they didn't have too much work of their own as photographers. Like, their business wasn't going so well just because they didn't know where to find all the clients. And so it's so much about wanting to advertise and wanting to do your own marketing. If you don't enjoy it, I mean, I was telling them I could show them how to do it, and they're like, oh yeah, I hate that stuff. I'm like, yeah, but that's why it's not working out. You know, you have to find those clients, otherwise you don't get any money.
Exactly. Yeah, the thing is, you know, there's not a lot of jobs that offer just like to do marketing and a lot of.
By the way, really quick, sorry, I noticed somebody just typed. I was looking at the stream of comments. Somebody just typed, "Does he know Peter Hurley?"
Yeah,
or
I was
know
just
of him. It's funny because I definitely do know Peter Hurley, and actually, Peter Hurley was sort of my inspiration kind of when I started headshots. And Peter Hurley, if anybody on here who's listening is a headshot photographer, Peter Hurley just released a DVD which I purchased that teaches all kinds of techniques and tricks about headshot photography, and it's a huge it's been a huge what would be the word? It's had a huge impact on the quality of my photos, and I think that that Peter Hurley's stuff is really good because as the top headshot photographer, it's not like I'm trying to copy his work, but it's that you learn as much stuff as you can from other people and then develop your style, because there's no purpose not to take the mistakes and the experience that other people have already gathered and put that on top of you. I mean, that's what life is all about, you know. It's just about building off of what other people have done in the past. So that's what I have to say about Peter and that.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that was an interesting question. I was just about to ask it before you did.
Yeah. His DVD is out. I highly recommend it. I'm working on writing a review for it, but it's expensive. It costs $300 for a 4-hour tutorial DVD.
Oh, jeez.
But the crazy thing is that he charges $1,200 for a headshot session. And so I'm like, well, I could pay $300, which is a quarter of his rate, and learn everything that he knows. I'm like, it's a no-brainer, because if I charge a couple $100 for every headshot session, one headshot session covers it.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's very important to develop your own style. Yeah. So I was looking at the chat. They're talking about equipment now. I guess.
Something happened. It just said to me, I'm not signed in or something, and said click sign in to see the chat. All right, now I see the stream again.
Yeah, they started talking about equipment. So what kind of equipment do you have for your studio? Is it like really decked out, or you've got like certain items that you take into it?
Well, honestly, I mean, like I said, since I just graduated, and as a recent graduate, I didn't have enough money to get a huge place in Manhattan, so so I don't have a huge studio. I have lots of equipment, and most of my equipment was geared toward on-location photography and videography. My studio equipment is pretty much a flat white background. I do a lot of headshots outdoors and then some indoors. Flat white background, and I use a small lighting kit and some speed lights. I use Nikon cameras, and I actually have I just went to a hardware store because one of my other background lights, the light that I used to light the flat white backdrop, it blew out. So I went and just bought a work light. I mean, I just sort of make do with what I can.
Yeah.
It doesn't make financial sense for me right now to spend a ton of money and buy the most advanced lighting stuff when what's more important is developing my client base and getting my name out there.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I do have two cameras, which I definitely recommend. I have a Nikon D90, which I shoot most headshots with, and then a D7000, which I shoot with my my D90 at weddings. And then I use the D7000 also because it's a great DSLR that does video, which is one of the newest things. And shooting weddings with a DSLR camera looks really, really nice.
That's awesome. I have another friend close by. He's up in Fresno, and he talks about all this stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? He has this huge studio thing. So I was just asking about the tech because everyone has their preference. So.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed somebody wrote something about Canon camera, I think, and it's everybody's always arguing between Nikon cameras and Canons, and to be honest, I didn't know anything about cameras when I originally started, and the only reason I'm a Nikon user is because that was the camera that I bought. I bought a digital SLR camera a long time ago, and it turned out to be a Nikon. And then the funny thing was that I bought a film camera a couple years later for a class at NYU, and it was a Canon. And the lenses aren't interchangeable, so you have to pretty much stick to one or the other. And I have my Canon film camera with like two lenses, and then I have a couple of Nikon cameras, and those are what I use most of the time.
That's cool. And yeah, I agree with what you were saying earlier. Client base, huge, especially networking. Andrew spoke really highly of you, I remember. That was really nice of him. So that's important, especially right now. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about or tell the audience?
I mean, there's so many different things that it's hard to think of something. I have the photography, the videography, which is what I started with, and then filmmaking, and I'm also actually working on I've been trying to write some books and sort of do some self-publishing with those, more promotional books, not promotional, instructional books, like on headshots
hold on 1
and
second.
wedding videography. Yeah?
I think the show, what on earth?
Oh, the video went out?
Okay, it's back.
Okay.
Lost internet connection.
Huh.
That is too weird. Sorry, it's okay. There we go. I have weird things happen to my tech every once in a while. But yeah, sorry. What were you?
No, I was just saying that. What was I saying?
Yeah, the internet did that. It was like having an ADD spell or something with the computer.
I wonder if anybody on the stream was paying attention to what I was saying.
No, they are. No, it was weird. It's like they said that was perfect streaming, then it went to the CPU, it was too high, and then it said it lost all connection. And I was like, what the hell?
Somebody wrote camcorder and still shot, but I feel like I was saying something.
I think you were talking about cameras.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about cameras. I mean, yeah. Oh no, I was talking about the book that I was working on. Because I was working on, and I still am, just a book about headshot photography and one about wedding videography. Because I feel like self-publishing something, writing a book. One of the things to marketing yourself is to make yourself known as an expert in your field. And if you can get that sort of recognition, then you'll start getting a lot more business as well. And so, I mean, one of the things with me is I decided I would write a book on headshot photography with all that I know, and it's actually pretty good. The information in it is very, very informative, especially for people who don't know how to take headshots at all. They just know how to point the camera and shoot it, really, and they don't know much about the technical aspect of it. It's got technical, and then it also goes into directing people. And so I decided that I would write these things, and whether or not they get published and go out there and make me rich, which they probably won't, I feel like I can use them as sort of promotional tools for myself and say to clients on the site, like, oh yeah, I've written this book on headshot photography, and it's published on Amazon.com, that sort of thing, and people can see that, and if they decide to buy it, that's a bonus. But in the meantime, I'm using it as a way to build credibility with my business and myself.
That's good. Yeah. Well, as far as links go, everybody check out his business. It's called MJB Home Entertainment. And then also check out Dakota the movie. It's coming in 2013. They're going to start the filming process, I believe. I got that right. So.
Yeah, 2014. I noticed somebody just wrote a question. They said, do I use a makeup artist or do it myself? I definitely use a makeup artist. But a lot of times for headshots, clients will actually not even care about having a makeup artist. I recommend that they use one, but as of right now, I'm sort of not established enough. Like someone like Peter Hurley, for instance, insists and requires that his clients pay an extra $250 on top of that $1,200 session fee. They pay an extra $250 to use his makeup artist, and if they don't use his makeup artist, he won't shoot with them. And I mean, I'm not that established yet, but I definitely have a makeup artist who I work with. So.
Okay. And then also, everybody check out Martin Bentsen' site, and then also City Headshots, which is his photography. And if there's nothing else, I don't want to, keep you on. I don't want to pull teeth or anything for you, because I know that, this is our first interview, so you're always welcome back. And when Dakota starts shooting again, maybe next year, if you want to come back and talk about it more for some marketing and stuff, let me know.
Yeah, definitely. That would be great. I really appreciate you asking me questions, and that everybody showed some interest on the chat thing. And yeah, I mean, if anybody has any questions or would like to talk to me, I'm definitely open to that, and people can email me. My email is just you can type headshots at mjbhomeentertainment.com, which is my company website. And so, I mean, I'll always respond to any questions that people have, or you can find the rest of my contact information on any of my websites. So.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and if you need any help with marketing or anything, let me know. I'm definitely, I'd love to help you guys, so.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it, and I'm sure Andrew will too. And thanks a lot for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on.
All right.
Alrighty, talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
Alrighty, guys, that was Martin Bentsen, and he is going to be working on Dakota the movie. That's one of the big things right now that they're getting in the works to start shooting in 2013, and it should be out by 2014. He also does photography, and here are all his links. I don't know if you can see them, but they'll also be on this site as soon as I update it again. As far as announcements go, I didn't do it in the beginning. I wanted to do it now once everyone was back in the chat room. Yeah, I've been keeping it kind of a secret. But Jenny's going to be a part of my new up-and-coming site. It's going to basically take the Guardian Radio Network and change it into the PPRS network, which will include Guardian Radio, but it'll also host many other shows. I haven't given away Jenny's part yet, so don't worry. That's basically my half. It's not the whole story, but this site will no longer be, as soon as I can get the domain transferred over, the new site is going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of site work. Only I didn't actually have to pay $100,000 of site work. So it's going to be quite a site. And I'm really excited because it's going to have a PPRS community. There's going to be different things that everyone can do. Everyone can become a member of the actual site and have a forum area and a blog area, and there's going to be an entertainment section. There's going to be the team, the paranormal side of things, radio side, basically everything all in one, and it's going to be one hell of a good site. So everybody, make sure to look it up. Here's a preview of the site. It's not the actual domain name, so if you search it, it's not going to come up. So don't even try. But this is a preview of the main part of the site. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. This is just a small tidbit of what it might look like. And yeah, it's really pretty. The colors are exactly what I want it to be. The only thing is there's going to be multiple layers of tabs and different features. There's going to be different apps and things installed. There's a community area. A lot of cool things. So look for it. There's going to be a lot of cool shows that are going to be starting up on the network itself. It's a starting up network, but I'm getting shows. Jenny has her own announcements as far as when her show's going to be, what's it's going to be like, and everything else. So I'm excited to have her be a part of it. That's my half of the news. And if you want to listen in, Jenny, I don't know if you sent it or not. Oh, here it is. Her announcement is going to be on the Skeptical Ghost Hunter on Saturday at 8 p.m. on Z-Talk. So if you want more information, go through Jenny, and she'll announce it on Saturday about her, when she's going to do it, her timing, all that. And it'll be directly on the pprsteam.org, which isn't set up now, so I'm still waiting to announce the big site, so I'm really excited. Yeah, it might be becoming a business, actually. The network is going to be separated from the team, and the team is going to be separated from any kind of sales or any kind of thing that happens within the site. So there's going to be a lot of different features to it. It's going to be an all-in-one site. So I hope all you guys enjoy it. I'm talking way too much right now. Yeah, I'm going to start the next show in about an hour. So everybody, I'm not leaving you guys or anything like forever. I'm just going to leave for about an hour or so. So I'll see you all back at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be calling in the guests. The first guest is going to be Laura Kimberly. She is a PTN network, and she has a lot to talk about, which is good, because I really wanted to talk to her. So I'm really excited for that. And then also we're going to have Ken Tucker, and he's a musician. And once he gets on, the first hour is going to be Laura Kimberly at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then at 7 p.m., we're going to have Ken Tucker. And then at 8 p.m., we're going to have Russ Stiver. And after that, we're going to do a roundtable, and hopefully we get everyone back together to have a big roundtable discussion. And if anyone was here last time, they know that last time was a lot of fun. So feel free to do that. We'll have a lot of call-ins. This is Martin's interview, and I'm signing off for about an hour or a little bit over an hour, and then I'll call in all the guests at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. So I'll see you guys in an hour.